think that
there's other elements. 3823 gives more protection than the Constitution does, and so I would still use it because they did it for the purpose of bringing it to court.
It sounds like the focus of the investigation was on him. You can't kick him out.
You can't kick him out.
You can have 3823 kick in if it's in your home. I mean, if he'd gotten up and tried to leave, I'm sure that they would not have let him. They were there on purpose. He was the focus of their investigation. They had him on video and an eyewitness according to what their line had been saying. Who's your judge?
It's out of Fort Bend County, Judge Lowry. It's a little misdemeanor.
How old is your client?
He's at the time he was 19, now he's 20. He was just bored.
He might have known he had right. He didn't know he had the right to leave and get up and leave. I still try to use it. I still try to use it.
It's just wrong.
I would still use it.
And before we shut this off, is there anybody else that has a question, comment? Yes, Mr. Vincent.
He did it for love. But I just want to make a comment, Letitia. When I was growing up and my mother would go shopping at the grocery store, wherever, we had to, she would take us, but we had to hold on to her dress, so we wouldn't get lost in the store. She knew where we were. Well, I don't know if Letitia recalled it, but several years ago, we had an aggravated robbery. Remember, we had co-defendants. And this robbery was supposed to have taken place down the street here, where this guy was coming out of this parking place, and two guys came up and robbed him. My client was from Washington State, and I forgot where Letitia's client was from. But anyway, to make it short, what happened, they both charged with aggravated robbery. So I'm hired to represent him, and they hired Letitia. So we meet and we were talking, and Letitia said, and they had this, the complainant had testified for the grand jury. Letitia said, we're going to get that grand jury testimony. We're going to get that grand jury testimony. So I just grabbed this dress deal like I was holding on to my mom. And I didn't follow her around. We got the, she made it easy for me. We got the grand jury testimony. We found out what really happened. And this guy was lying because he had an underage girl who he had taken out and gotten intoxicated. And when they started the investigation, because they had some kind of little wreck incident up there, he screamed, we've been robbed, and they let him go. The investigators let him go and arrested the guy. But I was really impressed with Letitia's aggressiveness, how she just jumped on it. I'm still kind of thinking, so let's take it a little easy and make this approach with you. We're going to get the grand jury testimony like that.
Great.
Boom, okay. I just grabbed his coattail and hung out.
All right.
The cases were dismissed.
All right.
I'm not offended by the work that these young ladies do. I encourage them the best I can. If they come to me, I see them doing something that I think should not be done. And I know a couple of them when I was chief prosecutor, I had a number of females that worked for me, and I always gave an opportunity to go and handle the case. If they needed any help, I was there. And I do have a lot of respect for every female in this room who has taken on the responsibility of representing someone.
Thank you.
43 years ago, there were very few black lawyers at the courthouse. There were 2 black lawyers with the district attorney's office. There was 1 white female who was a prosecutor. No, it wasn't Kate Burkholder. No. And she got drunk every day at noon. Let me just tell you something. And these women up here, I mean, they are unbelievable. And for all the guys here, think about it this way. And I've said it over and over and over again. And my wife asked me, say, why is it you always around a lot of women? Why can't you get some guys to come do something with you? And I tell her, I say, Mama, it's a fact. The most important people in my life are women. Because but for women, we wouldn't have anybody. I don't know one man who would go through childbirth. And that's the truth. And so these women, these ladies, these lawyers, these real lawyers are the future. I can cuss a prosecutor out, he wants to fight. A woman can curse a prosecutor out, and he backs up. Because he can't fight. He can't. The policeman who got your client in his home, got a statement from him, got him to say something he wouldn't have said if he had known what his rights were, is a police officer who's conniving, who is able to lie to somebody, is able to get somebody to say what he wants him to say, is so convincing that the person he talks to doesn't even know that he's lying. And so he has to say that on the witness stand. And when a jury starts to believe him, and whether or not his motives justify what he does, one thing that they're going to have to understand, you can never tell when he's telling the truth, because he's a good liar.
I want to thank y'all all for coming out to the CLE, and I definitely want to thank our speakers for agreeing to speak. I think they know I take a little bit up from all. Casie is fight. Windi is heart. Vivian is preparation and just determination. And my swag is Letitia. She has taught me to definitely be you and do it to the best of your ability. And when you think you've done it, then look at somebody else and try to be better. So I thank y'all for coming out, and thank y'all so much for coming.
I did a blog, I did an interview on a blog about women's issues as a criminal defense attorney. I think Eric may have sent it out, but if you didn't get a copy and just want to hear about what's being talked about, I have copies for everyone.
And if you need those motions to get out of jail free immediately, I brought some.
You need it in your
I'll put some in here.
Yeah. And you can sign in for your CLE credit at the front.